Welcome to Inside the Nest. I'm Jack Bartek. On Friday, both the men's and women's basketball teams were set to take the floor in some NJAC semifinal action. However, unfortunately, the news came down on Thursday that the men's basketball team would have to withdraw from the remainder of the NJAC tournament due to the COVID-19 protocol. After a first-round victory over William Patterson, the men finished their season at 6-3. But there was still some action to be had Friday night at the Panzer Athletic Center as the number 1 seeded Montclair State women's team welcomed the number 5 seeded Kane Cougars to town. Montclair State coming off a 64-point romping last round, looking to keep the hot hand against Kane, who found the groove themselves as of late, winning 3 straight against Rutgers Newark coming into this one. And the Redhawks started off the scoring as freshman Kendall Hodges pulled with no hesitation on the 3-ball. Montclair State led it 3-0 early. And the back-and-forth battle would begin as Kane answered. Derek Smith all over the place, gets the steal, and then converts on the break. That gave Kane a 6-3 lead. A little bit later in the first, Nikki Carter working baseline, gets a step and puts it in off glass. Soft touch. Montclair State on top, 12-10. And then right before the end of the first, Kelly Smith with the good hands to start the break, and Hodges was the beneficiary, flying down court for the lay-in. The Redhawks led 16-13 after one. In the tail end of the first half, Kane started to get cooking, led by Ashley Hunt, who drains the triple there. That cut the Montclair State lead to 20-16. A few possessions later, it's Hunt, this time assisting Sarah Olivero in the corner for 3. That got the lead down to 1. And another sweet dish from Hunt, this time Kayla Anderson finishing off glass to give Kane the lead. And they were ahead 27-23 at the break. Second half now, Montclair State looking to come back. Hodges working inside, grabs the offensive board and puts it back. That made it 31-25, and it got the Redhawks going. A few minutes later, Julia Sutton, 3-ball corner pocket, big shot, cutting the Kane lead to 1. And with about 3:40 to go in the third, Riley Mulligan sent Panzer into a frenzy, finishing through contact for the N1. She would convert at the free throw line to give Montclair State a 35-33 lead. Heading to the fourth, the Redhawks rode that wave all the way to a 15-point lead, capped off by Hodges here with the right hand, giving Montclair State their largest lead of the night, 53-38. Things were looking bleak for the Cougars. But they clawed all the way back, and with this Shannon McCoy running hook shot jumper, they cut it all the way to 1 with 65 ticks to go. But the Redhawks had the answer, and with 31 seconds left, Taylor Brown stepped back from Route 3, the dagger. Icing this one, Montclair State would hang on to win 56-52 behind freshman Kendall Hodges' big 16-point performance.
What was it that Coach Harvey said at halftime? Because at the end of the first half, Kane seemed to take control, and then you guys came out in the third quarter and put your stamp on it.
I mean, Coach was just saying, about how we just never played like that. It was an individual game. We didn't look like Montclair State women's basketball, and we didn't feel like it either. We were playing an individual game. It was Kane versus one of us, and then someone else, and then someone else. And then if you saw, Kelly got hurt at the end of the second half, so we all had a little talk when the coaches left, and we were just all, the season's not ending today. We want to win for Tay, Nikki, and Kayla, and we want this championship more than anything. We didn't stay on campus and quarantine together and just see each other for nothing. We want this NJAC championship.
The victory sets up a rematch with New Jersey City University for the NJAC crown on Friday. Montclair State swept a pair from the Gothic Knights to close out the regular season. In both of those games, the Redhawks won by a final of 67-58. Kendall Hodges had a huge series, averaging 15 points per game in the 2-game set. And Montclair State held freshman sensation Damaris Rodriguez to a combined 12 for 41 from the field, hoping to replicate that performance this weekend.
The Montclair State field hockey team is preparing for a season that is certainly not typical. With their fall season pushed to the spring, the team is excited to get back on the field again.
I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to be back out here with our team, and I can't thank our administration enough. They're the reason that we are here, all the hard work and their willingness to help us get back on the field, and we're grateful and we're really excited.
The season being pushed back, coaches and players needed to make adjustments. Senior captain Janelle Harden says playing this spring will help next season's team in the upcoming fall season.
The weather, that's one of the biggest challenges, but other than that, we have the same mindset and the same goals that we want to be out here, we want to play, and we want to improve, we want to win games. And as far as a short turnaround, I think it's kind of an advantage to be able to have a shorter amount of time between seasons, because it's like when we start up again, it'll be like we never left.
Fellow senior captain Lizzie Similuka is certain that everyone on the team will contribute, especially some of the new freshmen.
I think we are all weapons, but I think we have a couple good freshmen. Carly V's super talented, super fast. Carly A, another one of the star freshmen. But other than that, I think the whole team is ready to go.
Team building and bonding is challenging during a pandemic. So to foster the unity needed for success, Coach Eileen O'Reilly leaned on a concept developed by the Navy SEALs called Swim Buddies. Players were put in small groups and encouraged to stay in touch with each other, with coaches checking in with each group every other week.
It was nice because a lot of the conversations weren't necessarily about field hockey or the spring season, but more just day-to-day life and what's going on, and that has helped me get to know our incoming freshmen and then even some of the girls that have been on the team for a couple of years in new and different ways, which I have enjoyed.
They opened up their season against Kane on the 9th. The Redhawks fell 4-2, despite goals from Simi Luca and Carly Van Tassel. They'll get their chance at redemption when they play Kane at home on March 17th at Sprague Field.
It was a beautiful day for opening day as women's soccer took on Stockton on March 10th. 17 minutes in, Tara Lambert corner kicks from the far side and gets blocked by Stockton goalie Jennifer DeVault. 37th minute now, Kimberly Campbell from the near side fires one just over the goal. The Redhawks put up a total of 13 shots in the first half while holding Stockton to just one. And the defensive battle raged on, both teams looking to break the scoreless tie. Samantha Senator lines one straight to DeVault, who handles it with ease. Running out of time now in the second half, still no score. Eileen Cahill makes one last breakaway attempt to put the game away, and it's snagged by DeVault to push things to OT. Time for sudden death soccer as the sun set at Pitzer. Less than 1 minute remaining in the first overtime, still tied. Eileen Cahill with a good look, and her shot goes wide left. On to the second and final overtime now. Phoebe Bledsoe leaping and getting help from that crossbar to stay alive. And as time was expiring, Sophia Ambrosio with a free kick, and it's up and over the top of the net. Redhawks outshot the Ospreys 31-3, but couldn't squeak out a win and start the season with a tie. Coming off a 1-0 victory over Stockton on Wednesday, the men's soccer team looked to improve their early season record to 2-0 as they played NJCU on Saturday afternoon at Pitzer Field. In the 33rd minute, no score yet. The ball played in over the top from Osbin Mendez, who finds a running Marvin Cadena to volley it home. Redhawks up 1-0. A minute after the first goal, forward Jake Stump was tripped at the edge of the box right there, awarded with a penalty shot, and cashed in, slotting the ball in the right corner for a 2-0 lead. On to the second half in the 54th minute, midfielder Brent Llewellyn crosses one to Ryan Catalano, who takes a touch before smashing it in the goal. 3-0 Montclair. 73rd minute now, the ball is played from the outside into the box. Cadena kicks it across for an easy finish from midfielder Michael Casper. 4-0 MSU. And then late in the second half of the Redhawks in control, Eric Chicas gets it to Delvin and Kedia for an easy tap-in. And that would be the cherry on the sundae. Montclair State with a 5-0 victory, their second straight shutout to start the season.
The Montclair State men's lacrosse team opens up its season at home against Kane University, who they've beaten 18 straight times. Off a turnover by Kane, the Redhawks opened up the scoring in the first minute, and it's Robert Brennan ripped a shot past the keeper. It's 1-0 Montclair State. With 5:55 left in the first quarter, Kane down 2-1. It's Connor Batcher who slams it into the net and ties the game at 2. 2 minutes later, Kane kept coming.
Seems a long pass.
Hell of a pass. And it goes in!
Thomas Francie!
Oh my!
From Jupiter!
Goalkeeper Thomas Francie from the other side of the pitch. I have never seen that.
As you could tell by the team's reactions, Francie launches a shot past midfield and somehow scores. It puts the Kane bench into a frenzy. Just before the half, the Redhawks turn it over and the Cougars capitalize. Brady Moore finishes down the alley with a goal, and at the half, the Cougars are up 5, leading 9-4. Junior Jocovino sets up Robert Brennan, and Brennan gets his second to keep the Redhawks' hopes alive. Now 9-5 Kane. With about 6 minutes left, Montclair State wasn't going down easily. It's Christian Boyle, the junior, and he unleashes a rocket past goalie Francie to cut the lead to 2. In the end, the Redhawks' comeback attempt fell short as they started off the year 0-1, losing to their rivals 9-7. Montclair State taking on previous national champion Cabrini. Definitely going to be a tough test for the Redhawks, with the Cavaliers being one of the elite programs in D3 lacrosse. Cabrini leading 1-0 with 12:10 left in the first quarter, and it's Kyle Tucker with the ball, who passes it off to Mike Josebek, who finds the back of the net. Cabrini now leading 2-0. Montclair down 2 with 9:08 left in the first quarter. Jocovino gets the ball, puts a dodge on his defender, and finds the bottom corner, putting the Redhawks on the board for the first time, now trailing by 1. 5 minutes left in the first half. Score 6-2 Cabrini. Tyler Ball goes down with a non-contact injury and had to be carted off the field. It could have put any weight on his leg. So at this point, the Redhawks are down 4 goals and down a man as Ball leaves the field. 2 minutes later, defender Patty Finnegan goes down and he has to be helped off the field. The Redhawks go into the break with a deficit of 9-2. Second half action now. Cabrini came out just as strong in the second half as they did in the first, scoring 2 quick goals, including this rip from Ty Kostak to put the Cavaliers up 11-2. Early fourth quarter now, as MSU is down 13-3, looking for a comeback, and Tyler McCurry receives the pass, dodges to his right, and finishes into the bottom corner with 13 minutes left to play, cuts to the advantage by 9. However, the comeback didn't materialize for the Redhawks as Cabrini hells them off 14-6. The Redhawks fall to 0-2 on the season and look to bounce back Wednesday at home versus Newman University.
Field hockey dropped their first game of the season to Kane 4-2. Men's soccer defeated Stockton 1-0. Women's soccer defeated NJCU 2-1. Football defeated Kane 41-12. Baseball won their doubleheader against Gwinnett Mercy University. And volleyball won both of their games this week against Keene and Rutgers Camden, respectively. It's a busy week ahead with a slew of games each day. Let's get you all lined up. With their win, the women's basketball team moves on to the NJAC Finals this Friday against New Jersey City. Must-see action there. Jack Bartek and John Costaban will have the call on the Red Hawk YouTube page. Softball begins their season with William Patterson on Saturday, both doubleheaders. Volleyball is on a 3-game winning streak, taking on William Patterson this Tuesday, their last game before the NJAC tournament. Baseball on the field twice this week against Moravian College, then Gwinnett Mercy University. Men's lacrosse had a tough week, but looks to recover against Newman University and Gwinnett Mercy University. Field hockey tries to bounce back after dropping their first game of the season, facing Ramapo. Football, coming off their big 41-12 win last week, will take on Wesley College at home. Finally, then men's and women's soccer will take on Kane this Saturday, both coming off wins. Remember, the Red Hawk Sports Network is your place to see the action and hear the calls for home games all season long. On behalf of the entire team here at RHSN, this is Anton Specht, and thank you for joining us.